Right, we are live. We are live and ready. Welcome everybody to Monday's stream. Do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream. Let's get the algorithm going. Subscribe if you're new. We've got a lot of familiar faces in the comment section. We've got Wizzo. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Interesting day ahead. It will be an interesting week. Loki, good afternoon to you. Greetings, Dan. Hello to you. And obviously, good old Steve-O. Great to see you too, mate. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And yeah, here we are, back round again with Monday, looking at the market with Justin. So big thank you for coming on again, mate, as always.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
Afternoon. And we're a bit later today for those of you obviously thinking, a bit later today. The clock's changed again, so we have US Open a little bit later, or it should be anyway, to my knowledge.
It will be. Yes.
Yeah, it should be 2:30. Let's just double check that. Market opens in 1 hour 50. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so we are right with that, yeah. So we're all on track for the time, etc. Obviously, we didn't get really... Actually, no, we did get a bit of volatility over the weekend. We obviously got a drop on Saturday, down from 84k. And then we had a little bounce up yesterday and then drop back down today. So we'll obviously have a look, see what's going on there. We've got a few little bits on ETH. Obviously, just overall ETH looks pants. But also a few little huge liquidations that reside below. We've obviously got XRP flirting with losing its range as well. It's
lots of flirting, Dave.
Yeah, lots. I mean, look at all this flirting that we've had here. Look at all the flirting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of only a matter of time, really, isn't it?
But the thing is, when you generally get that, every time you retest support, it makes support stronger. Yeah. But it also is more probable that you lose support at the same time. So I know that's a bit contradictory, but it has had the liquidation down. But
yeah. Everything got that though, didn't it, on that day? And then I think probably most things have gone lower since. Yeah, look at ETH. That was the same day, lower. Sol, where was Sol's liquidation that day? Maybe did Sol even? Oh, it was there. Blimey. Yeah, so that's a lot lower since.
But wasn't that Sol had some positivity that day? I think it was. I can't remember for what reason.
Yeah, I can't really remember. I mean, Link's looking obviously back down towards its lows. I think everything. I mean, Sui is obviously completely reversed that pump that it had, looking to go back to the downside. So everything's looking quite interesting. I'll tell you something that's not dead yet is Ton. Now Ton come up and pretty much not done the full sweep just yet, but it's kind of done what obviously you was looking for a few weeks ago. It's come and took this one. It's not took this one just above around 415 yet, but it's, I mean, obviously Ton is still staying strong, but overall most of the market looks absolutely pants, doesn't it? So,
yes, but it's not just crypto.
No.
Across the board.
Yeah. I mean,
it is somewhat troubled. Is probably the nice way.
Yeah, I mean, look at. I mean, that is it starting to roll over now? Maybe Nvidia. We'll have to see. I mean, it's opening again another couple of points lower, isn't it? Another like $5 or so lower than Friday's close at the moment. Anyway, let's have a little look to see where they all are. We've got Apple a little bit lower. We've got Meta a bit lower. I mean, but you look at all these, all these weekly charts.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Big route to the downside.
Yeah. Tesla, Google, all these are looking interesting. And obviously we've got the ETF, which is opening a couple of points lower as well. So interesting stuff. There's plenty to cover today. Obviously, we do have Bitcoin around $82,000. And a few different scenarios that we can look at and maybe what comes next. But first things first, how was your weekend, mate?
Fine. I'm a bit mentally exhausted. Well, that's actually a complete utter lie. I'm just bored of crypto, or the wider market, bored of the narratives of tariffs and all of that kind of jazz. It's all being done clearly for a reason. For those that don't know, I think it's something between 7 and 9 trillion of debt or governmental bonds that come up for renewal this year. US bonds.
Yeah.
So if I'll flick my screen on in a minute, it's all centered around that, I think. So you can see what's happening, and there's lots of obviously statements, and people get very caught up in the emotion of the headlines. But I think I said to you the other day on our little group, Dave, that if you look at what the US are doing and who are basically driving this forward, it's Trump, the front man, but hand in hand with Musk. What are they? They're both CEOs. And if you look at this, or you look at the American, the US economy as a business, you've got two ways to improve the bottom line. You've got to increase revenue, and you've got to cut costs. So obviously costs, pretty simple. That's what Doge is doing. But obviously, if you're just cutting costs, because the Fed costs have such a big bearing on GDP, if you weren't bringing the tariffs in with it, you would basically collapse the US economy off the back of it, or the GDP. So you've got one side of it, the cost, which is happening with Doge, and then you've got the other side of it, which is the income, which is the tariffs, the trying to get people investing in the States, jobbing to more jobs and all of that kind of stuff. So they're attacking it at both ends. But the way I'm looking at it is they are trying to run it rather than politicians. They're trying to run it as CEOs and go, right, how do we get this company back on track? And the more screwed a company is, or country in this case, the more drastic the measures need to be. You can see across the board that the risk-off sentiment, like everywhere, whether it's stocks, crypto, everything is just, apart from gold, is the one outlier. Until we get some certainty, and the certainty comes on the 2nd of April when the tariffs get finalised or purely come into effect. Whether that will bring certainty and stability to the markets, and then having some more confidence that money starts flowing again. But at the moment, it seems very much like money's being taken out. They don't like the uncertainty of it all. The stuff about the wars and all that stuff is secondary. That's all priced into models anyway. The tariffs and what's going to happen, the uncertainty is what's killing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it says something, doesn't it, when obviously everything goes risk off and then gold just carries on parabolic.
Gold is my godsend. I trade gold multiple times a day, every single day, and that is how I entertain myself, or one of the things I use to entertain myself. The returns that you can have on gold, because you can scalp it I scalp it rather than swing trade it. You can do some pretty decent damage every single day. It's my favourite thing to trade.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's see what we've got going on in chat. We've got John, hello to you. We've got Coffee in the chat, hello to you, mate. Listy, my friend, how are you doing? We've got Say with Crypto. We've got Wiz saying, mate, Justin great again. Justin's already great. What are you on about, mate?
I thought I'll do it. I'll put the hat on just to help try and bring a bit of positive sentiment to the crowd.
Gold Sniper, how you doing, mate? Is it time to long Sui? I mean, I can't tell you what to do, mate. I can't tell you what to do. Is it time to do anything? I mean, you've got serious.
I would suggest this week, especially today, don't do anything. Not financial advice, of course, but this is not month end is not a smart time to be. And quarter end and stuff as well. Probably not the smartest time to be jumping into trades.
I have a Bitcoin bid at 75.5k, so like another 10% drop. So I mean, it just depends on what you see the market doing, but I mean, how much more would alts get battered if Bitcoin dropped roughly another 8, 9, 10%?
Can you just share my screen, Dave?
You can, mate, of course. Yeah, we've got Reggie, man. How are you doing, Reggie? Great to see you. Nicola to fly now. Trevor has been freed. Potentially, we'll have a look at Nicola actually pre-market. Let's see what it's doing. We've got Pellin saying, "I'm scared of a fake out on market open today. Would just love to close all positions before it." Well, why don't you? You could do. You could do whatever you want. And I wouldn't even call it a fake out. I would just say it's the trend continuing, isn't it? If we get more downside, I wouldn't call it a fake out. I'd just say it is the short-term trend at the moment. Obviously, we don't want it to turn into a high time frame trend, but we got Easy Kev. How we doing, mate? We got Hala, and we do have Kevin over again saying, "Thinking of swapping my Solana for Sui. Any thoughts?" I think it's an interesting thought, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know.
Hala's in the house as well. Filipino's in the house.
Yeah, you are on now, mate. We are on your screen.
On the screen. So, just as to follow on from the wider economy, this is the 10-year US government bonds. I'm just keeping an eye on this because when this was, so if you look at probably 2000, if you look at the 10-year and it's maturing now, this is kind of where it was financed last time. So you look at the actual return, the yields on that compared to where we are now, it's quite a bit more expensive to refinance all of that stuff. So I wonder if we get a push down like that. But obviously there's the amount of money in bonds, it's very hard to have that kind of move. And this is on the monthly chart, so it's unlikely. But it's just something in general to keep an eye on. But you look across the board, let's put this on the weekly, and I'm going to quickly just run through the indices. So you can see the risk-off sentiment. We got back towards this kind of range where we were just going to possibly nip back up again. There's a daily fair value gap down here and a weekly down here. So whether we carry on moving down, I don't know. So this is the S&P futures. But you look across the board, the Nikkei looks like it's in corrective territory. Still got 5% drop there. Look at the DAX. Definitely in correction territory, where it's rotated out of the US stocks into Europe. You can see it's starting to distribute as well. FTSE, same sort of thing. So you can see the risk of sentiment across the board. So I'm keeping an eye on all of this because I think it will give us, if you're looking purely from crypto and everyone waiting for all season and stuff, until this stuff starts picking up, crypto is just going to carry on doing nothing. So just to have an eye on it. But you can see on the higher time frame, so this is the DXY. And again, it's just slap bang middle of nowhere, the DXY. and especially on you can see it's going to hold this level, especially on the monthly. This level is quite prevalent, so you can see it quite well. But you've got gaps here, and you've got gaps here, and we're slap bang in the middle. So anyone that thinks price does things for no reason whatsoever, this has been moved exactly mid-range, depending on what happens with tariffs at the end of the week, because then it can either go up or it's going to start selling off. The market makers move the prices into these areas for moments like this. So you can see just how undecided the market is by one chart there. I don't know what you think, Dave, but it's pretty evident of where the uncertainty currently lies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything's kind of been moved into position, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Or approaching position.
Just nowhere. So I won't even bother going into gold because we're at an all-time high again this morning. So we are continuing to run up. That's the gift that keeps giving. So from a crypto standpoint, we've marked it. So this is on the monthly. If you remember last week, we've been holding this level here. And we thought we'd range in this gap here, which we've managed to hold for a few weeks now. But the monthly now, you can see this lovely line that sits here.
Mm-hmm.
If we close where we are now, I would say it's a good thing. We don't really want to close like have a rally and close up here. I would say it's better to actually close this here, and then this closes the gap. Now, if it closes below, then I'm afraid it's going to potentially get worse before it gets better. But you can see it's so clearly on monthly close. So I would guess that we actually might not get much volatility today at New York Open because of this. And then tomorrow, because we've got Jolts and ISM tomorrow, we might actually get more volatility. Now, who knows? It's New York. They could have had a wild weekend and they want to do some other stuff. But to me, it makes sense to hold it where it is now and keep the volume off. Like I say, I would say, from a positive standpoint, if we hold exactly at this level, good. That kind of is fine. Now, that would enable a potential wick below here later this week, which wouldn't bother me. But if we lose this level in the monthly and actually close below, I would say it's going to be grim. I don't think anyone would be wishing for that unless you're in mega short positions. So that looks to me, hold there. The weekly looks fine. Again, it's held quite strong, and you can see there was a little rally yesterday to kind of keep us back up. But yeah, the monthly close is where it's at today. I'm not bothering looking at the other total charts because I think they're absolute horseshit at the moment, personally. We have got a CME gap for those that care about these sort of things. 84,000, I think it is, 100.
Yeah.
That's it. Just keep an eye on later in the week. Dominance is creeping up, broken out of this level here. So I expect this wick to get taken out. Once that wick gets taken out, I would say this midline here, about 65%, 65.5%, is potentially where we reject from. And as I've said multiple times, we need to come up there, and if alts have any chance whatsoever, it needs to reject hard and fast.
Yeah.
What other ones are interesting? ETH Bitcoin. I don't even know what to say about this, Dave. It just looks like
I think it is probably the maddest looking chart I've ever seen in my life.
It is just like a slow rug, isn't it?
It looks like you don't really have any words to like. The downtrend on it is unbelievable.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't stop. I mean, I actually don't think it's going to stop. Yeah, I think we are maybe going even back towards them.
I had this little orange line, Dave, on mine, which was the weekly back test, which we've kind of got to now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether we build this base in here now and then potentially liquidate below these wicks here,
yeah,
maybe that signals the bottom. But there is no indication as of yet that we're about to get a trend reversal, because it's just like constant bleed. So until this changes, all season, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I don't know. Just you don't kind of just want to like sort of bet, put your bets on it, do you? Until like don't, because it could easily go lower. So
yeah, I don't think
going to get one more spike on Bitcoin dominance. It is going to go lower, and it probably will get quite ugly. Now, where that spike comes from can obviously be two things. We could get another strong drop on Bitcoin, which then would potentially crush ETH towards low 1700s, maybe even in the 1600s. And then maybe that marks the bottom for ETH Bitcoin, because we'd obviously get probably another liquidation wick like we had a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or, maybe it steadies, and then upon, a strong Bitcoin rally that we get the final drop from somewhere. I mean, really, it would make sense maybe for it to be one more drop. But, yeah, I mean, it looks horrendous, doesn't it? And, I think... What chart is it? Solana looks like it might be following the same pattern. I mean, I think, is it Solana ETH or is it Solana Bitcoin? I don't know.
Solana Bitcoin is desperately trying to hold this kind of level here.
Yeah.
Top the candles, desperately trying to hold that there. But you can see where the liquidity kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this loses this level of support, the next level of support's here.
Yeah.
So that's
and you got to remember as well, how many times did we say that on ETH Bitcoin, and it kept going lower and lower and lower and lower. So you look at some of them lows on Solana Bitcoin and you go, yeah, it's all funny laughing at ETH now, but what happens in another maybe couple of months to Solana Bitcoin? Is it going to end up all the way back down there like ETH did?
But the thing is, it's not. Obviously, we're building a tiny bit of like compression here at this point, but. So we're either going to get a fast liquidation and then bounce back out and then use that as support to kind of continue up. Or if this drops and just carries on bleeding down, and then you come up. But then you're talking July, August kind of time that this might play out, which might not be I've been looking at some of the timings and stuff, and it's... relief we'll get to Bitcoin in a second, but relief either come pretty quickly, like this week, or
it's getting.
I don't even want to say the or.
It's getting too late, isn't it? You're talking about then, we're moving, into April, and then we're in May, and then you're deep. You're well within the summer months then, so and you are looking at. September, October, November again, and then before you know it, the year's done, and then where is the market at that point? So it's kind of like, do we get some relief in April?
But if you go back to, I'm not going to look at 2021 because we're not really following that cycle. It's more in keeping at the moment, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look back here, you had these consecutive, this is back in the June, August, July time, where we had consecutive red candles. I can't remember when the exact halving date was, but wherever. But March was red, and then it ran up. But if you look here, you've not had, once you was, so when was the halving in 2016? Hold on. Halving dates. Oops. Where are we? Oh, why I've done F dates. So July 2016. So basically, July 2016 was when we had that halving. Then when's the next day? May 2020. I'm doing this for a reason, by the way. I'm just spuriously talking.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But you look at the halving dates, like once it happens, you don't have consecutive months like red candles at all until you get to the tops of the runs, right? Until you start selling off. So if you then overlay that now, so when was it? It was April 24, was when? April 24. So as we currently stand, we've got, unless there's a rally this afternoon, which in a way we don't want the rally because we want to close the monthly, never before have we had post-halving consecutive monthly bearish candles. I don't know what it's like, how far you go back. We could look to see what that looks like. But it's just something to bear in mind. And it's whether we get the rally this afternoon, maybe. I mean, the last time, do you remember when the Nikkei had the big sell-off in the summer? And then,
I remember that well.
Then New York stepped in the afternoon and basically we pushed everything else back up.
Yeah.
But we're not risk on. At the time, that was a big sell-off. It was a bit of an anomaly, whereas everything just seems risk off at the moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if we break this trend and we do have the consecutive bullish candles that come post-halving, which this would cause a lot of fear, because obviously if we're closing red, people genuinely will be going, right, is it all over?
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but we'll see. And then you go back to these other ones, so like you were saying, I think Sol ETH. I mean, I don't really know what to make of this. It looks a bit nowhere-ish to me. You've got liquidations either side. Looks a bit undecided as well. Just all looks a bit nowhere, is what I'd say. The general market.
It all looks very strange, doesn't it? I think. And I mean, you know, you look at it and you don't even want to think about what would happen to alts if that was, you know, if that was actually the top.
Well, you're seeing obviously a spate of delistings across the board. Obviously, the Binance have been doing this vote thing to get rid of any, or vote for delistings if you want them. So whether that's a true vote or whether that is we'll vote for this, but actually we're the ones that are trying to manipulate it on. I don't know. But
I mean, there's just simply not enough money to keep up with all these. You know, you can't have everything spread that thinly and then still have decent volume on everything, can you?
No.
You know, the money is just spread so thinly now that it's just not possible. Like you can't have volume keeping up with everything. It's just going to fall off because yet again, you know, they're just listing more and more crap as well. While they're doing all these delistings, they're carrying on listing more and more crap. So it's not stopping. You know, it's not stopping. They are just maybe they're appearing like they're doing something good and listening to people and stuff like that. But you know, I'm pretty sure probably over the past few months in CZ's comment section, there's probably a lot of people saying stop listing crap. But yeah.
Like I say, I wonder how much of that listing is that, or delisting is real, or whether that is that they're using it to just manufacture. Yeah, we were asking people, and it's the community's fault. It's not ours. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's we kind of like Bitcoin wise, we've fallen back into this range here for now. I know we've got that CME just about the top of this box, I think it is. So I wonder if that trend line is still intact. It was on there. Yeah, it's still kind of there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So they're clearly manufacturing this. I think short's being baited, personally. If we are going to, there's so many people that are going, well, we are going to come down and we're going to retest this level here, 73,000, give or take. What's that one? Right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, I don't see why you would give people a freebie like this.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got the fair value gaps in here. The problem is because of like the unified trading and all of that kind of stuff, and then people having margin leverage spot positions and crap like that. The leverage just keep building, but to me, all of this here just means there's liquidity building to this side. Yes, we're building liquidity here as well. So I am of the view with you, Dave, whether we either just do not give people this move at all, so you sweep this level here, and especially not here.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people on crypto Twitter that are going, this is the level, it's great. So then other people will set their bids in these like fair value gaps and stuff like that.
It's the most obvious thing ever, isn't it? Like it's just so obvious. Like it's too obvious. You know, you could give a monkey a chart, and you know, you could say draw where you would buy there, and it would be
like I said last week, right? If you look at all of these run-ups, the actual impulse has never been retested, never come back down to this point. It's never ever retested here. So why here would we, or anywhere within this area, why would you allow change this trend and allow people to get a freebie and like going along with that hammer candle there?
Mm-hmm.
I just, if it was me, I'd either break it down a bit further, bait some more shorts and then just green dildo the whole thing. Or if
it would also give a nice free drive to the bottom as well. Yeah. It'd also give a nice free drive pattern to the bottom as well. So I don't think many people really pay attention when it's a free drive to the downside. No. Obviously, most people.
But the thing is, if you flush here, I think that you will probably kill for good 70% of alts. They just won't survive it. Will not survive it at all.
And also, a lot of people are forgetting the amount of money, and momentum it would take to then break out of that range again. Then you've got to approach the next range. You've got to get back above 92, 91 again. Now, how long is that going to take? It would take.
Well, then you're back into 2025, like the back end of the year kind of thing. That you don't need to probably break out of this range here.
Yeah, it would take absolutely forever.
So
it just wouldn't make sense unless the top was in, and then you get the complacency bounce, to maybe like mid 80s or up to 90k or something, and then that's the complacency bounce, and then bang, full on dirty, horrible drop.
Well, the thing is, you've got to think max pain. What is the max pain now? You've absolutely bludgeoned everyone into submission on all coins, right? For the most part. So if you've bludgeoned everyone into submission on all coins, they've either exited the market, sold up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you then allow people to buy all coins if you come back down here and push back out again? Why would you give them that freebie? I just don't personally see it. It's too simple. If it was me, I would either not make a new. I would break it down further, but not make a new low, and then literally like straight up, and make a new high.
Yeah, which is what I'm looking for. Not a sweep of that low. Nothing too major. You don't pull into 73, 74k. You go maybe 75k at the lowest, and then full turbo run it back mode, just absolutely rip through all them. Because it's just so easy. You can just see exactly where the massive build up of stops and liquidations all along that downside move. Now you've got what you've got 1, 2, 3, you've got 4 or 5 clear lower highs there that you can just absolutely turbo rip through. So I think it would, and then also then people that have got money tied up in 70, 71, 72, 73k bids, then they've got to then cancel them orders. That releases money to them to then start chasing the move.
Yeah, well, you've got, like you say, you've got all of these.
You got So I mean, whether it gives it or not, potentially, it doesn't sweep that low, and maybe it just goes without everyone. Maybe it steadies itself, and we've had the classic move into, a high profile event.
Yeah.
And then it goes with, and then it just goes without giving an opportunity lower. But I mean, I've got my bid there, so it'll stay there until I need to remove it if I need to. But
it's you've got, if you go onto the monthly, and again, people are going to go, well, we've got this fair value gap to fill here. Fine. Again, around that 74, whatever K. It's so obvious, and it's the same drill when everyone's going, we're going to go to 40s or 30s down here, and we didn't do it. And it just left people out of position when we suddenly got that run up. Alright, so I just don't see why you would give people an easy path from here. It's not what I would do, but obviously I'm not a market maker. Not on this anyway, not on Bitcoin. So it's if it was me, I would turbo run it, have a little sell off, and then absolutely just green dildo the whole thing.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
And leave everybody sitting on the sideline. So I wonder how many people are sitting on the sideline.
Probably, there's probably a lot. There's probably a huge amount.
But the thing is, you look at if you go back to that chart, right? So you've got the trend line, so you can clearly see, right, on here, trend line. What do trend lines do? People trade them. People build their short positions or longs based off the trend line. So inducement number 1. Inducement number 2, let's have a look at where's the 200 MA, right? So you're below the 200 moving average on the daily. We are also below the 200 moving average on 4 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the CME gap that sits at 84,000. So, so you've got the CME, you've got the moving averages on multiple time frames, you've got the trend line. It's just, plus then you to the downside, we've got all this juicy break, we've not retested the breakout, you've got the fair value gap, you've got this, that, and the other. It's like people, they just chucked out all of these fishing lines and waiting for people to have a nibble. That's my personal view. I might be wrong, but if I was gonna break down, I would literally nuke it to like 30 grand or something, and then in like a 1 minute candle, and then bounce back up to 110 or something, or 120.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what. I mean, we could probably sit here on the stream and draw about 100 different possibilities, couldn't we?
Yeah.
For what would happen. I mean, it's getting a little bit of a pump now. Back to 83k. So where are we? So we've got the Sunday high, which is around 83.5k, and then you've got this whole weekend high, which is back up towards the monthly open.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's gonna. So again, you've got the CME that sits here, basically, where you've also got this retest point. So there's a lot of people that are going to short here.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I would try and hold it around this level for the day, just to get that monthly closing on the total chart,
mm-hmm.
to close the gap, and then I would probably tomorrow break it down a bit, maybe not even give a lower low, and then just absolutely rip it up.
Yeah.
at the end of the week.
Yeah, because you got to think as well. Come what Wednesday, all this tariff stuff is going to be largely resolved, or at least the initial fear moving into this 2nd of April date is going to be relieved. So what would be the logical thing that everyone that's now late shorting into it, maybe we do get a little push lower, but you're still building up the shorts. Then you're building them up and then just absolutely relentlessly push through them for like a week straight or something.
But the thing is, this week, so we've got ISM and JOLTS tomorrow, right? So a couple of decent things to keep an eye on. Wednesday is non-farm. Then we've got a couple of other bits. And then Friday, again, you've got non-farm, unemployment, and then you've got POW. They might just send it sideways all week. That would also be funny because everyone goes, there's loads of news and we've got this tariffs and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they just absolutely just let it go sideways all week.
Yeah.
In like a $2,000 range or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose as well, you know, you look at the S&P. I mean, I think I've got the 5394 level outlined on the S&P as a potential drop point, which could then line up, you know, with a one more drop down on Bitcoin, wherever it goes down to, and then sort of, you know, in line with the S&P, rip it back up.
53 what?
Hang on. 5394. It's the two. I think you've got a different chart loaded up to me, haven't you? You've got the session one. I've got the one that ties in futures with it as well. It's them two closes there to the left. You've got it highlighted the top of the pink box, but them two daily closes. Well, sorry, the one daily close and then the push back up. Yeah. That right. The top of that pink box. Exactly.
Yeah, well, we've got weekly fair value gap down here. This is on the futures S&P.
Yeah.
But all of them have. The Mag 7's got this gap to close.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of different stuff, all in the same kind of range.
Yeah.
To me. So.
Yeah. Yes. It's gonna be interesting for sure. But all you can do is have a plan in it, and that's what it's all about. Is no matter what happens, just have a plan for both ways, and then trade it.
Trade it if you wish to trade it, or if you're investing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything rash this week. I would be just keep it sensible. I think.
Yeah.
So what's moved lots over the last? Let's have a look at what's moved lots in the last 7 days.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could have a look at the ETH chart tied in with these liquidations that we've got coming potentially. So we have hang on. Let me get it up, and I will.
Get it up, Dave. You get it up on screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, my keyboard's dead. Hang on.
Not for the first
time. Let's see. Ethereum liquidation levels. Here it is, right? Have you still got your screen shared?
Yeah. Do you want me to unshare it?
No. I can send you. Do you want me to send you the link to this, or I could? I suppose. To be, I mean, if I could swap mine over, we could have a look at it, and then we can swap back to yours.
I'll stop sharing, and then you can jump in, Dave.
I'll jump in, and then we'll swap back to yours, then to have a look at the actual chart. But obviously, this is liquidation levels in DeFi. Obviously, we have these two key big ones. So you got 65,000 ETH at roughly 1,740. So that's not even too far below now. It's at about $100. And then we have another 64,000 ETH. So these are mostly on MakerDAO. There is a little bit more on elsewhere, 1.5k on Compound.
Is this what we were talking about at the weekend?
Yeah. I put this in the group before as well. And then another 65.6k at 1,686. So, you know, if you're looking at it, do you potentially go after these positions before you give a bounce to clear this out?
Obviously, with those kind of positions, I put this in the same camp as the like all the hyper liquid stuff the other week, where people get all excitable about it, and then what else is really going on? That's where I get slightly skeptical with it all.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's positions these are as well, they could always just add more margin. So you know, you could get down towards them, and then suddenly, bang, you know, they appear over here, and they've just added more margin.
How much of it's inducement again? Because there's so many things that people are looking at going, we've got to go lower. We've got to do this. We've got this. We've got this.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, ETH, I think, well, you know, you take away you don't look at these, and I think, you know, 1740. Let's have a look at the chart. 1740 we had. I think that's the low there, isn't it? Yeah, 1755. So potentially, without even looking at that liquidation, forget that. That would just be a simple sweep, wouldn't it, of this low, and then potentially come back up, just clear out the remaining liquidity.
So where's the actual level, Dave?
The first one was 1740, so about $15 below the current March low.
Hold on, just doing some mathematics. Yeah. So basically, if you go on the weekly, Dave, you got the weekly chart up?
I can do that, mate, for sure. Yeah.
Look, the week of the 23rd of October, you've got a fair value gap there. Right? That also...
Hang on. Wait, am I going back to 2023?
2023, yeah.
This one, yeah.
23.
Okay.
So, I would say, if you pull that fair value gap all the way across, you can kind of it hits a lot of tops and like support. So we tested it once, so maybe that gets protected.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter what happens, does it? It's going to go wherever it wants. But it's interesting to see, because I do imagine. I think we said it before. I imagine that this is the actual Ethereum Foundations one that you mentioned before, which is a hell of a lot of ETH.
I thought the ETH Foundation one was about $1,100. I think it was.
Yeah. But do you know what's interesting about this? Like now this is starting to get a load of attention. When BNB was looking like it should have broke down, so if we pull up the BNB chart, BNB, right? So I'll tell you exactly where it was. It was when BNB was around here.
Yeah.
I think it was around here, or maybe, yeah, it wouldn't have been that far back. It would have been around here. I remember there was a lot of focus about, some on-chain liquidation. Not too far distant from the price. Would have been, maybe sub $200, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was lots and lots of attention on this on-chain liquidation on BNB. Not too far from the price was. And then obviously you look at it, and obviously, the price never got there. It just went up. But it's kind of the same with ETH.
How many people loaded shorts at that point?
Yeah. And, it's kind of the same with ETH. Now you got these two big liquidations here. It's plausible that it hits one because, 1740, you could argue, might just hit that if it sweeps the current March low. It maybe just tags that. But, the second one or maybe both. Similar sort of thing. I remember it was a huge position on BNB as well. It must have been about, maybe it was like 180, 190, or it wasn't too far from where the price was. And yeah, there was loads of people just constantly spamming it on Twitter and stuff like that, about this BNB position and stuff. And obviously, look what happened. The price never got there and it just went up. So, maybe we see something similar. Maybe.
Yeah. What do you reckon New York Open, Dave?
I think we are going to drop more on the... Well, I mean, Mag 7's already down pre-market, so... But I think we're going to drop on Bitcoin. So I think we're pumping into it now. I think we are going to drop on Bitcoin. So yeah, but I think the S&P and Mag 7 will continue down, particularly maybe over today and tomorrow.
To me, we've got to kind of... I would love today to stay sub 83, somewhere between 83 and 82. If we can close the daily there, I think that would get us where we need to be on the monthly close on the total chart.
Yeah, I mean, it would make. I mean, this candle that we've just had here in the last hour. That's just a stand. You know, it's just a typical stop run, that isn't it? You know, look at all this. You got all this build up of wicks on here. You know, from coming down over Sunday, nothing really swept, and then just banging 1 hour candle. It's just gone through all these, just took all these stuff. So looks to me like that's just a stop run, and then maybe we come back down, whether we go lower or maybe just fuck around here.
Well, again, so you've got to the top side, you've got the monthly open at 84,300. You've got the CME gap, which I'm sure was about 83,975, and that kind of range. There's a lot of short inducement there, and if it was me, again, I think I would just keep the whole week sideways and then send it.
Yeah.
Because it would throw people off. Because they'll be looking at the news, they'll be looking at the tariffs, all of that kind of stuff, and then just keep people off guard, and then just put $15,000, $20,000 candle in a day or so, that, and no pullbacks whatsoever, and just take everyone out of their position. Don't give anyone a chance to get in position.
Yeah.
Whether that's hope or whether that's reality, I don't know, Dave. But I think that's what I would do personally, or I would flush it to sort of like absolutely down the toilet completely.
Yeah, just come and fill my bid for me, and then send it back up. Just do this. Just come and just right onto 75,500 on the nose, and then just absolutely send it. That'd be nice.
That would suit your.
That'd suit my agenda. Yeah, that'd suit my agenda for sure. How's it going, Scotch? It's great to see you, mate. Reggie man saying, "Come on, Dave, get it up." Yeah.
Everyone knows you're too well, Dave. Get it up on screen.
Yeah, do you want to get your screen back on, mate, or do you want me to keep mine on?
No, keep yours on, Dave. Don't bother me in the slightest. I think we went through most of the macro charts, didn't we? I'm just trying to
we did
gauge where we're gonna possibly. Where are we? We're above the POC. I would say probably down then up at open.
Okay. Yeah.
Down a bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we go down. I should probably get the poll on, actually, shouldn't I?
Get it out,
Let's
Dave.
get the poll on. Let's get the poll on. Hang on. Direction at US Open. Right, make sure everyone goes and votes in this poll. Let's see what you are all thinking and who wins today. Go. And get the likes up as well. 10 likes is criminal. That's absolutely criminal. There's 41 people watching and we've got 10 likes. So let's get that easily above 20, 25. Push it to 30 even. Come on. There's no need for it to only have roughly 25% of the likes from watchers. So come on.
So we have got, Dave, from here, just saw someone asking about the CME gap. So from here to close the CME is $820 up. I have it as. So not far at all.
Yeah.
That's all just
yeah, I mean,
what was the other one? So people were saying about Sui, weren't they?
Yeah. A few people asking about Sui. I think it was. I can't remember who was saying about Sui. Dude Delicious was saying it. And then kind of, I think it. Hang on. Someone said. Yeah, he asked. He says, "Is it time to long Sui?" And then kind of commanded it. Then he said, "I told you Friday to short Sui. Now I'm telling you to long it." So he kind of asked, but then commanded us. So Doodylicious
gave the answer to the question.
Yeah. He asked and then kind of just said, "No, do it right now." So interesting. Thank you for that, Doodylicious. I really like your name as well. But yeah, I mean, Sui's getting an absolute smacking, isn't it? Absolute smacking since pinged right off the monthly open as well, right to the tick.
Well, the thing is, if you look at Sui on the weekly, there's a big void that's kind of created from the candles on early October and then to the 10th of February. There's like a big kind of void on both sides that we haven't filled in.
Yeah.
So I would probably suggest that Sui is going to break down further.
I think so, yeah.
And then it will reaccumulate in that range before it pushes up. But it looks like it's got some work to do.
I mean, it was one of the stronger ones as well, innit? And you look at this. It's done 63% to the downside from obviously top to bottom currently. Obviously, where it is at the moment is about 57. What level are you looking at, mate? I've got.
So where I would love it to come down to is $1.37.5, and the range is from there to 156.
Yeah. Into about 56 is around here, isn't it? Yeah. About there. Anyway, so in there. Yeah, which would be about a 75% correction anywhere in that zone, which would be pretty normal to then obviously then potentially go on. I found
another ticker that exploded the other day, Dave.
Oh yeah.
You ever looked at FIRE?
I haven't, no, but let's look at it. Let's see. Let's get the Bybit chart up. Oh wow. Okay, let's see.
That done 5x in a few days, a week.
Yeah. Look at it. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, from obviously from the lows. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? In this 4-hour candle alone, it pretty much, what did it do? 262% to the top in this 4-hour candle, and then obviously then spent ages building up to fill in the wick.
So FIRE, so over the last couple of weeks, but again, you look at this chart, right? It's just this bleed down to death, and then you suddenly get this like 5x in a couple of days. Same as you got. Obviously, auction was a bit more legit as a chart. Other ones where then obviously we've had other ones have just dildoed recently.
I mean, I'll tell you what looks like it's in trouble. I think.
Jasmine?
Jupiter? Have you seen the Jupiter chart? Wow. Wow, look at that. Will you put your screen on a sec, mate? Because I'm just going to nip to the toilet.
Yeah.
But Jupiter looks like it's in serious trouble. Like, serious trouble. That does not look good at all. I just nipped to the toilet. Yeah, right, get you on there.
Jupe USD.
Right,
let's have a look. That's not what we want. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. Is that right? Did anyone do anything? Is anyone in Jupiter? Because that candle looks epic. Yeah, that looks horrendous, but it looks like a lot of altcoins at the moment. What else has had an absolute shocker? It's dead, isn't it? Basically got a hold there. Close. That looks terrible. What else has gone up a lot recently? Auction we've done. Cow. You still in? Is Wiz still in the chat? Are you still in Cow, Wiz, or looking at Cow? That looks like it's getting ready to break down further. But all the altcoins look exactly the same to me. They just look like utter garbage. Yeah, another one that went up the other day a couple of times. Looks particularly unpleasant. I think Wiz said something about Scroll the other day as well, which also looks terrible. I think it looks better on items. A lot of these charts just look like they're dead forever, basically, I would say. All the same sort of thing, just ready for death forever.
Death, you say?
Yeah, I was just. Wiz said about Scroll the other day as well. So Jupiter looks the same. Look at Scroll, same sort of thing. Just
yeah.
There's no way you can kind of time these things. I just don't know.
Here's one for the chat. I suppose here's one for the chat, right? What new launch, we'll say, in the past, well, should we say in the past year, and obviously not counting meme coins, because they don't count, but what new launch within the past year has actually done well and hasn't ended up like a bag of crap? Does anyone know one?
Oh, yeah. Mantra?
No, that's actually been around since last cycle. That
is it? Okay.
Yeah. Long term coin. I can't think of any coin that's launched within the past year that has actually sustained itself and not kind of just absolutely crap the bed. We obviously had Kato and Pi, but them since have absolutely tailed off. Initially they done well, but that is the standard. That's the standard playbook, innit? And that's what happens. But I can't think of one at the top of my head where we've had some a really good launch. I suppose I'm trying to think of one. No.
It's just all shocking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my charts prepared, Dave, unless you want to put your charts on for New York Open.
It's up to you, mate. Entirely up to you. Okay. We've got Block Pro saying taking a long on Dave. Very nice. What's our thoughts on Swiss Borg's coin? Okay, so Borg. ZRO. People are saying ZRO. Did ZRO launch in the past year? Yeah. I thought it had launched before that, but maybe it did. I don't know. Cars, where's your? I haven't seen Imagine Project in a while, mate, to be honest. I don't know where he's at.
Where did we close the weekly on ZRO? That's okay. There are a few of us that are ZRO maxis. But a bit of a terrible candle, but as long as we hold this on the weekly, this box,
yeah,
I think we are in a good place. Look at this, though.
Right. You're all right.
We're fine.
But yeah, I can't think of one. I can't think of one at the top of my head. That is, I mean, really, it's been hard on it because anything that has launched has kind of had to take the brunt of the market with it.
Okay, well, there's another question then. What coin in the last 12 months that's launched has done the worst?
Oh wow.
Stop.
When did that launch? Yeah, that would have been within the last 12 months, wouldn't it? Got to be. Yeah, it's got to be. For I think tied in for how much money they raised, it's got to be that. That is like a no-brainer, isn't it?
Doesn't look too pleasant, does it?
I think also because they diluted everyone, so they diluted everyone by like a tenth, didn't they, as well? I think. Yeah,
I did get sent an article about the person behind this the other day that I sent to you, Dave. But it's
because I remember it vividly. Someone was in the Discord creating a bit of a ruckus for entertainment purposes and got banned. But I specifically remember the screenshot that a guy in there said he put 20 grand into it, and back like even before the downturn, the tokens he received at TGE were only worth 2, so he'd been diluted by like a tenth, which is unbelievable, really, isn't it?
Yes, but not unexpected. It is crypto after all. Hyperliquid. We should look at that quickly, Dave.
Yes. Where is Hyperliquid?
That has been slightly compromised.
See, this is another one, isn't it? You know, this is another one. You know, new launch coin, does well at first, and now is starting to potentially, go into.
Well, we obviously had the that
heist discovery mode to the downside. What did you say there, mate?
It obviously had that. It's had all of the stuff that was going on with what everyone thought was Baron Trump or whatever it was, trading insider trades and all of that nonsense that crypto Twitter was getting very excited about.
Yeah, no, it come out to just be a cyber criminal, didn't it?
Yes, and then last week you had that jelly situation.
Yeah,
that was obviously what caused that. I think it hit here. Was it last week when it was this candle, wasn't it?
That candle. Yeah.
But again, whilst that happened, you can see here where liquidity sits because of the candle, the wicks. The wicks passed through, tried to push back up, interruption there, retest into liquidity. Yes, we had the news, but charts don't lie. The chart is the chart, and the price does what it's supposed to do. But this at the moment just looks like the rest of them, where it's, I do believe $11 is where it listed on the exchanges. But this looks like another one that could just bleed down for forever, unless it kind of finds a bit of support soon, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, when things go into price discovery to the downside, it's a really dangerous thing in it. If you're tied in with Bitcoin potentially doing unknowns to the downside as well, it could get really, really smashed. But if it did go down and maybe it stopped at about $5 or something and shown signs of a bottom and Bitcoin was looking good, in the scenario that we're going to get another leg up on Bitcoin and stuff like that, I would fancy it for a 10x from there.
Yeah. Oh, I think if this bleeds down, I'll buy down here. No
I think it's worth a punt, isn't it? It's got to be worth a punt if we get there.
We've got 5 minutes, Dave. Is there any other altcoins that we want to look at in the intro? That's another one that you mentioned last week that looks like death. That's been delisted from Binance. Jasmine.
Oh yes, Jazz. Oh yeah, Jasmine. Oh, Jasmine. Dead. Now I'll tell you what is coming into kind of my area is Aero. That's kind of coming into my my area that I've looked at on stream. So I had I was looking at I don't actually know what chart has got the most data. I've always looked at the KuCoin one, but maybe MEXC's got more data. I don't know. But I've had kind of like the.
Is it Dave Aero? Not that.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's the DEX. It's one of Wiz's favorites. Now there's not too much to go off apart from I've been looking at the absolute pin bottom of that drop that we got last year as kind of a place for it to hold. I don't know if there's actually
this one here. Yeah. July time.
I want to see like an accumulation around that, but I don't know if there's a chart with anywhere with more data on, or whether that it launched back, whether that's from launch. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's from launch, but I fancy it there because obviously it's the main DEX on base, and they actually do make decent money as well in terms of revenue. Yeah. However, I will not just be buying it willy-nilly. I will be waiting for it to form a base. But if it forms a base at around 40 cents, I do fancy it as I mean, look at that since it listed on Binance.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm trying to find
just down only. It's funny, isn't it? You know, everything that gets listed on Binance, that is literally the death of everything now.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything good for any tokens now, apart from maybe.
Is it Aerodrome Finance, this one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's the main DEX on base. It's where all the trading goes on and stuff. And obviously, with
September,
yeah, there we go.
September 23. Is that the right?
So it looks like maybe it was just available. I don't know where it was available trading. Maybe it wasn't on any centralized exchanges back then. I don't know. KuCoin. Maybe we'd have to go on Dex Screener. Do you want me to have a look on Dex Screener quick? See if there is actually.
I'm going to go quickly back to the Bitcoin chart because.
Yeah, go on. You've got 2 minutes.
Yes. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. 1 minute, Bitcoin. Here we go. That's a quick thing. 30 seconds, a minute and a half.
Hang on, what am I doing? Right, Aero. Let's see. Aero. Okay, that's wrong one. Hang on.
Let's see how the SPX opens up of Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah, so it does actually have the rest of the data is on Dex Screener. However, it looked absolutely horrific. Yeah, when you look at it on Dex Screener on the weekly chart, yeah, I mean, to be fair, if it holds around that level, that's where I'm interested. If it doesn't, then it looks like it's in trouble. Are we open yet? No, are we open?
We've got seconds to go, Dave. I think we should be open now. Ring your bell. Oh, look at that. Open at the gap.
Chaos. Wiz is saying, what did I miss? We were just looking at Aero, mate. One of your favourites, in it, Aero. Nothing else but to buy Bitcoin. I mean, certainly in this market is the safest bet, in it, in terms of anything crypto, yeah. Definitely the safest market.
Is this what you were looking at for the SPX drop to, Dave? These two candles here?
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, my SPX. So that would be from here a drop of another 2% and a bit.
Yeah. Which potentially may line up with another drop on Bitcoin, whether it sweeps the low, whether it just puts in another low around that area, whatever. It's going to provide some pressure on Bitcoin. So hopefully And obviously, for anyone that is hoping for us to go up from here, obviously you're not hoping for it, but I'm hoping that it catalyzes one more drop on Bitcoin, so I can get my long order filled.
Here we go. Bitcoin is dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess it retests the POC, the daily POC would be my guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would. My personal preference is to hold monthly as we are. So if we can hold a steady, great. If not, then goodness knows.
Yeah.
I just think it's bad. If we close the monthly below this point, I just think on the total chart, I think it's going to be bad, really bad.
Oh God, yeah. Look at the Mag 7. You got Nvidia down 4%. We've got Tesla down nearly 6%. Amazon down 3%. Microsoft down 2.5%. Meta down 3%. Google
so Mag
down
7's opened up below the gap.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Nvidia is getting crushed in it, and I mean, let's go and have a look. Let's see. Oh God. I mean, how balls to the wall would you go on Nvidia if it got back into that kind of that $40 to $50 region where it would make sense to retest?
Well, you've got this gap here, like this breakout point here, is where you want it to retest, right? But you've actually got another gap that sits here as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Surely we're not going to sweep that candle because that's 15% down.
Oh, imagine. I think we are going to see something pretty mental soon. Whether we get it, I don't know whether we. Oh, Tesla's down 7%. Oh, it's getting absolutely stuffed. Yeah. See, this is all just going to provide extreme pressure on Bitcoin now, isn't it? Like, it's going to provide extreme pressure on Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin's
going
down.
Yeah, but I mean, anywhere $40 to $50 on Nvidia, I would say, without providing any sort of financial advice at all, but anywhere between $40 and $50 Nvidia at least gets you a 2x at the very least, because it will get. If it shits the bed all the way down there, we're fucked anyway. But you know, a complacency bounce back up to $80 is just nailed on. It would bounce at some point because This seems like true tariff panic and might be reasonable, says Pellin. Well, the thing is, as well, obviously we have got the tariffs driving it as well, but, you know, you go on the weekly chart on a lot of these. So, you know, Bitcoin included, but, you know, the weekly chart on the S&P, then all of the Mag 7. A correction was going to happen at some point. It's just the fact that tariffs have catalyzed it. You know, you go on the weekly chart.
The charts always go where the chart needs to go. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the narrative is, whether this takes 3 years to do or 3 weeks. The chart needs to come back down here on Tesla. It's the same on, like, all of these ones have gaps on the chart.
Yeah.
And anywhere you've had a top and we haven't retested it, then anything like this all need to be retested. Every single one of them. So anywhere those gaps reside, they need to be retested. Apple doesn't actually look too bad, but I know it's got gaps further down. Amazon looks shagged.
They're all just like rolling over now, aren't they? They're all just like rolling over. Jevons paradox will mean GPU's demand will continue to accelerate. What's that? Jevons paradox. What's that? Do please enlighten us, Wiz. Gold rocketing. Yeah, gold has been rocketing non-stop, hasn't it, for ages?
Gold's selling off. Who said that?
I don't know. Pellet said gold is rocketing, but it's selling off, yeah. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, if it happens now, it's better, really, that, you know, all this tariff shit just speeds it up for us and just gets the job out of the way and done with, so we can maybe go and bounce again, rather than just bleeding slowly for weeks and months on end.
Yeah.
You know, we've had, if you go on the weekly chart on the SPX, say in the world that this week closes red, or, you know, no, forget that. Just in the last actual weekly closes, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've had 5 red candles out of the last 6.
Yeah.
So not accounting for obviously this week. But in terms of closes for the last 6 weeks, 5 of them have been red. So, you know, it's pretty. You know, I've had some pretty strong retracements.
You look at all of the indices, and they're all in correction territory. It's not isolated to the SPX. It's just people are risk off. So it's all it is. What
you want to be careful of is people going too far the other way, because I would consider this just a correction in the high time frame trend. What you'll have soon is, especially if we get, you know, another, you know, drop on the S&P, you know, whether it be a couple % or whatever, you'll start to see everywhere people just absolutely ringing the bell about 2008 and the dot-com bubble and stuff. So just be wary of going too far the other way as well, because we will get a huge downtrend. You know, we've had pretty much like a 3-year uptrend on the S&P and on the Mag 7, but I don't think we're there yet. I think this is just a correction in what should finish the year quite strong, I think. Personally, I don't know.
I agree. I actually think, considering how bad the S&P is selling off, Bitcoin doesn't look too bad. It had that little pump up. Yeah.
Well, if you consider where the S&P actually started selling off, so if we look at the S&P since week beginning, when it actually topped out at its all-time high, actually, so week beginning 24th of February.
Yeah.
The S&P is down just shy of 11%, 10.5%. If we go the same on Bitcoin, the 24th of February, Bitcoin is actually only down just under 15%, 14.8% from obviously where it is now. So it's not even really that. It's not even getting hit that much, you know, with the S&P. Like the S&P's down over 10%, Bitcoin's down just under 15%. You know, really, you would maybe have estimated that Bitcoin would have got a harsher, stronger pullback. Oh, someone's at the front door. Hang on, let me answer this ring doorbell. Wait there.
No worries. Just need ways to stop selling Bitcoin. That's what we need. A little whiz through the chat.
Right, that's sorted.
Why does XMR not seem to follow the trends? Because that's a privacy coin, isn't it? XMR.
Yeah, it got delisted on a few exchanges. I think it got. I don't know if it was actually ever on Coinbase. I don't know, but I know it got took off. I think it got took off Binance and stuff maybe as well.
Yeah, because it's XMR.
It's privacy coin, yeah. It's the biggest Monero. It's the biggest privacy coin.
It absolutely shat itself at one point, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know the thing is, it's a proper Dino coin as well. No, it's a proper Dino coin. To be fair, actually, what's that from? I mean, at least it doesn't even look like it's been hit that hard since.
No, it doesn't.
The past couple of months. It's actually held up quite well.
No, it doesn't look too bad at all.
But you're never going to have any sort of like narrative or anything around Monero, I don't think. maybe if there's for whatever reason, a big suddenly everyone starts caring about privacy, which I don't think I don't see why. But
again, I mean, just looking at this, really, I've not done any work on this whatsoever. But anything above that line looks right to me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not been hit that hard at all. I mean, what is it down from its December high or whenever it topped out? So what did it top out at there?
So this is obviously back in 21. So we are 12%.
Oh, see, that's fine. Most old. I mean, we were looking at Chewy before, and Chewy's down.
Like all our money in Monero. That's the answer.
Yeah, Monero's the hedge. I mean, Monero's down well less than Bitcoin. Monero is the hedge. I don't know what we've been looking at this whole time. What are we doing? Let's see. Right.
Crushed.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything's getting fucked up in it. Oh, the S&P is just dropping like a stone.
But the thing is, you'd rather it go down, test support, get it over and done with.
Yeah, get it over and done with. We're now only. So from that level that I've been looking at, obviously you've got a box drawn, haven't you? So maybe it pulls in a bit deeper into that level. But we're just under 2% now away from that level that I was looking at. So, just get it over. May as well just get it over and done with today and tomorrow.
Get it done with.
Because I just don't see a world where we have this come in and then it carries on going the same way. All this is in preparation for it to, I think, to U-turn and rally. People. Yeah, because what will happen now is people get more and more scared and people will get trapped. You'll have late shorts coming in, late sellers just selling the bags and, of whatever it is. And then it will then U-turn, and then all them people will be like, no, why is it doing this? It shouldn't be doing this. It should be going down. Tariffs have just come in. We've already had the move. Like the move has been. You got to remember, markets are forward looking. So all this sell-off that's been coming, the past couple of weeks is the market starting to price in tariffs.
Yeah,
we're just gonna maybe get that last liquidation.
But the thing, all it's doing is freeing up liquidity. The charts are going to places where charts need to go to, frees up liquidity, and then it's ready for the next phase, basically.
Yeah.
But I would say, personally, if Bitcoin maintains like this kind of range for the next day or even the rest of the week, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because this isn't been plowed. I mean, it's 1%. It's a tiny range, a couple of percent, 2.5%. Yeah, actually not too bad. I'm going to stop screen sharing now, Dave. If that's all right. I need to
check. Of course, mate. Of course, I'll get mine on. Right, I'll pop mine on. Let's go. There we go. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so I mean, we have. Yeah, I mean, come on, just give it. Just give it. Why not? Why not? That needs renaming now to.
XMR is used in the dark web markets. That's probably why Weezer's got a big bag.
Yeah. XMR is now used as Bitcoin used to be used.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the good thing about the XMR is there's no public ledger. So you can't actually go and just browse any transaction you want like you can with Bitcoin, Ethan, Solana and stuff like that. Potentially end of cycle. Yeah, but the thing is, where do you buy it? You have to buy it from an exchange, don't you? So, I mean, obviously, you could probably buy it from a non-KYC. I assume it's listed on MEXC and stuff like that. But you would have to buy it from an exchange, wouldn't you? Because you obviously wouldn't want to buy it P2P because you wouldn't want to just... If you're looking to launder money or hide money, you're not going to then buy it with your bank account.
I don't do that all the time.
So
it's frowned upon.
Yeah. It's surprising how strong Bitcoin is holding. Famous last words. You forget. Everyone forgets how horrible Bitcoin can be when it needs to catch up to a move. Maybe.
I actually think, like, compared to the S&P, seems to be getting some stabilisation now. What are the stocks doing? Yeah.
Just give it just that one last move lower. We're not asking for too much, are we? We're not asking for too much.
Dave wants to rinse out. I'm personally leaning towards we might sweep the Asian low.
Yeah.
I would say a pretty okay-ish level to potentially long Bitcoin if you choose to do so.
To be honest, I mean, part of me, I do have this. I have my bid in at 75.5, but part of me is just wondering over, today, tomorrow, and then maybe Wednesday. Do I kind of just, instead of looking for a position, maybe do I just DCA a position instead? I don't know. That's one thing I'm thinking is maybe do I just DCA a position instead? Maybe.
Yeah, I would say anywhere between 80,000 and 80,800-ish. I would say is a pretty good area to start. It's worthwhile probably having a go from there.
Yeah, I think I might do that instead. I think I might just start DCAing in and just clip it in, and then obviously if we do drop to high 70s, mid 70s, then I can just add and just average it out. But I think maybe I think we're kind of approaching a point, aren't we, where if we are gonna maybe liquidate more down or just hover around here, it's more so being in to catch the trend reversal as opposed to trying to nail the perfect entry.
Yeah.
So if you get, for instance, if I get say I fire in a quarter of the position, 81k or something, and it drops to 78. Okay, well you could fire in another quarter there or whatever. Yeah. But then really, like, what is the big picture? Well, the bigger picture is obviously looking for the trend reversal, isn't it? To back towards high 80s, 90s, maybe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you look at the actual downside in relation to where the SPX is going to go to. I don't think the SPX goes any. I would say, what was my low number on the SPX? Bear with me. It was. My lowest point in the SPX was about 5,350.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say that's a 2.5% drop from here, 2.5% drop from here on Bitcoin gets you to about just under 80,000, 79,800.
Yeah, I think that's prime, that, isn't it? That is a decent looking area.
And like I say, if you look at the total chart, the monthly has a very, 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 very clear level it needs to hold. And if we don't, then it's bad at that point. So I think it's probably safer. It's worth a go, obviously with sound risk management, not financial advice, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah, just patience in it. Patience. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, around 80k is where I'd love to start clipping in.
Yeah.
Maybe clip in half and then see what happens, and then if it goes, at least I'm half in.
Yeah. What other ones was I quickly looking at? So the other one I looked at the other week, which I mentioned to you, is Cetus.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
That's at an okay level.
Cetus.
Around just under 10. There was a somewhere between 0.085 and 0.095, around that kind of. That's where my box is drawn.
I'll tell you what we want. We want to know the next coin that's going to be scam pump, don't we? That's what we want.
Yes.
What one is going to be chosen next to scam pump 300%? Because I want in on that one. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Let's have a look
For
at
any market makers watching, please write too.
Yes. Yes. Do come tell. We're more than happy to.
Sharing is caring. After
now,
all.
I'll tell you what is looking quite interesting is Say. What are you looking at on Say? What have I had?
Yeah, we looked at this one last week, didn't we?
Did we?
So
my chart's a mess on Say. Absolute mess.
But I would say on Say.
I was looking at anywhere between 16 and like 14-ish.
Yes.
Is where I had.
Yeah, so I had. If you go on the Binance chart, Dave, the USDT Binance chart.
Let me just check that out. It's not that. Oh, that is that. I can clear this. Hang on. All right. Yeah.
So Binance chart. Go on the weekly.
Yes.
And then look at the candle body from the 21st of August 2023. Draw a box around that.
Hang on.
The sell to buy candle, 21st of August 2023.
Yes. Got it.
The candle body around that.
Yeah.
So it's around about 13 cents up to 15 cents.
Yeah.
I would say that would be a fine area to.
I mean that. Yeah. I mean, what's interesting on Say is it didn't really get that much more of a pump. Well, it didn't pump up anywhere near where it pumped the year previously.
No.
But obviously, I'm assuming that's because it was new launch, new chart, and stuff like that, innit?
But that's where I've got my alert set and I've got my chart drawn exactly that way.
Yeah, well, that would pull it in at 80% retrace from its December high. That is absolutely brutal, isn't it, for a large cap?
Oh.
I mean, really, it's kind of been pulled out of large cap into medium cap now.
Yeah.
But I mean, currently it's at 77, but that is absolutely brutal. There is going to come a point now, I think, very soon. You know, things start pulling into there, where like low leverage longs on things, 2, 3, maybe even 4x, if you like the appetite for it, are just going to become too attractive to ignore, aren't they? If you're not buying.
Then are they going to allow you to have them positions?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
That's what I would say. Is, would you allow them positions to be gained?
Yeah. Or I suppose, are people just going to be too fearful to even buy them? Obviously, we're discussing that now, but for say.
But you look at some of the ones that are pumped, Dave, right? You've had this downward grind, and then it's just gone bang out of nowhere. But then you've got at least here, you've still got a bit of history to kind of go, right, we've marked out an area there where there was previously accumulation and then a breakout point from, where you can go, right, that makes sense to actually bid from. Whereas some of the other ones that have just popped from nowhere, they haven't had that same kind of clear area that you would go and retest. So
yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have to bounce in a minute, Dave. I've got.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Big thank you for coming on. Very much appreciate it. Look forward to these Monday streams.
Yeah, well, I'm with Justin. Is my financial advisor. That is the Wizard of Oz. Well, I am doing a little soiree with Wiz. I'm sure he'll announce at some point.
Very nice.
The little thing. I'll let him announce rather than me.
Yeah, I like Suarez.
So yes, there you go. All right, I'm going to bounce. I've got kids' duties to do. Dave,
yes,
it was a
no
pleasure
worries,
as always.
Coming on. Make sure everyone bigs up Justin in chat for coming on these Mondays. No doubt, it's what people look forward to most. So yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it. See you later.
Bye. See everyone. Bye.
Right, and that was Justin. So we will stay on for another 10-15 minutes or so. So do make sure you go nowhere. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't. Let's see how many likes we're up to. I forgot to close the poll, but yeah, there we go. So on 20 likes. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't. If you're not subscribed, do make sure you subscribe. I would massively appreciate it. And yeah, let's see what we're gonna have here on Bitcoin. Obviously, let's go down to the 5-minute chart. So since we opened, where did we open? Hang on. So since we opened, so we dropped there, and then we've been pumping back up. The S&P is pumping back to the upside as well. So, I mean, we'll see what we get given, won't we? We'll see what we get given. But yeah, this week, obviously, we've got month end today. So don't forget, yeah, today is a monthly close. So we could see Luis Suarez. What about Luis Suarez? Swarms is at the bottom of its range. Could be the next one to rise. Yeah, I think we've looked at Swarms before. I think we've looked at Swarms on stream before. Interesting coin. You got Pi. This got absolutely slapped for $3, didn't it? I'm so annoyed that I didn't short this. I remember looking at it filling this wicking, and it filled it in exactly. And yeah, didn't pull the trigger on it, which would be up huge now. I mean, even if you got in anywhere around here, down 75%. Oh, that would have been great. Would have been absolutely great. But yeah, let's see what we get given anyway. Nothing too hasty. There's no need to rush into anything at all over this week. We could get served anything. The bottom is in. Well, if that's what you're playing, mate, I hope it is for you. I hope it is for you, but we could get anything, couldn't we? So it's never certain, but I mean, if that's what you're playing, then yeah, I hope whatever it is that you've been doing is that you make money from it. That is the main thing. So I've had absorption on the S&P, obviously on the initial drop. But where we go from here is obviously a different question, isn't it? XRP is an interest. I mean, go to the daily chart on XRP. Yeah. It's unbelievable how this hasn't broke down yet, really. It's being held up exceptionally well. But if there's any altcoins that you wish me to look at, let me know. Are tariffs priced in by now? Well, they come into effect on Wednesday. I would say it's likely that they're maybe mostly priced in. Yeah. Still not to say that we couldn't get, some more panic and stuff to the downside. Trump's going mental with tariffs, just sitting on one side, doing nothing at the moment. That is potentially the best, one of the plans. If you're just kind of not sure or you're not willing to dabble into it, it's kind of just waiting because, if we do get, a slam down, then, you could step in to buy there, couldn't you? We'll just have to see. But yeah, if anyone is looking to take any trades or, looking for the best place to trade, do make sure you click the first link in the description and sign up to BLOFIN. I will put it in the chat as well now. Non-KYC, so you sign up with just an email. You can create an account in under a minute. And yeah, it's obviously where we recommend our users to trade at Stonksy. It's where we run our trading bots. But yeah, for anyone who is looking to get, I mean, this is a great short on Stonksy, isn't it? From Friday downwards. If anyone is looking to get Stonksy, you can get it with 20% off with code BOT20. So it's the pinned comment, it's the pinned message in the chat as well. But you can get 20% off your first month with code BOT20. So second link in the description to sign up, to go to the website. And then if you put BOT20 in at checkout on a monthly plan, you get 20% off your first month. So it's a great deal because you try it for a month. It's a monthly rolling plan. There's no contract. And you get full access to everything. Indicator, Discord, and the trading bots as well on BLOFIN. So a great deal for everyone. If you've been looking at Stonksy or if you're new to it and you want to give it a go, it'd be great to see you over there. We are getting a bounce on the S&P now and Bitcoin. How far or how high this goes? Bit of a yawn. Will be interesting to see. But yeah. What's everyone else's feelings? What do you think we get in April? Get your predictions in for April anyway. Let me know what you think we do in April. I want to know what everyone's thinking moving in, because obviously tomorrow is the start of a new month. Thomas Mack is saying, I feel like the bottom will be 60k. Okay, that's a fair bit lower. Everybody's waiting for 70k. Market makers might front runners starting this April. Potentially, yeah, potentially. We could get anything, couldn't we? I mean, should we have a look? We could have a look at liquidations before we go. Let's see. I'm interested to see 3-month liquidity. 3-month, I mean, it's all the way down at 60, isn't it? But that chunk below there may be rife for the taking. If we look at 1 month, it's built up there, isn't it? It's really built up there. But potentially this pocket gets taken down just below 80k, maybe. It's interesting, isn't it? We could get anything. We could get a move up before a move down. We could get a move down before a move up. As long as you plan for it, both sides, that's all you can do, isn't it? I mean, whatever happens, you know, whatever happens in the grand scheme of things, I still fancy these wicks to be taken at some point. So I don't know when. So, you know, whether we come down to wherever and then come back up or whatever happens. But I fancy all these stops to be ran at some point, and then maybe we do something like this. Don't know when that will be, but it's something I've definitely got my eye on. Massive amount of liquidations around 64k. I mean, yeah, that would cause utter chaos, wouldn't it? It would cause utter chaos. I actually think, no, my gut feeling is that we have a green April. I think we have a green April. I think the lower the month will be put in maybe rather quickly, like we got in March. So obviously the low. Well, to be fair, it wasn't actually that quickly, was it? It was like mid-March, nearly a third of the way through the month. But I fancy the low of the month to be put in maybe early in April. Just got to be patient with it. Maybe an almighty wick the last 30 mins, and it'll activate massive amounts of buy orders. Yeah. We'll have to see, won't we? If that is high or low, we'll be creating a high. I think we if you go on 4 hour, I mean, I suppose technically, you know, you've got your low, higher low. Would you consider that a higher low? Maybe. I don't know, or maybe not. Maybe. I consider probably the market structure broken. It's more, I consider it just as a range more than anything. So, you know, now we've got the range high, which is here, and then the range low. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? This week's going to be a big week, regardless of what happens. And we should have, the one thing that is certain, we should have plenty of opportunities to trade Bitcoin both ways, long on, short, over April. So do make sure you click that first link in the description, sign up to BLOFIN and get ready. And yeah, obviously, do take advantage of the 20% off Stonksy if you've yet to join. Bot 20. In capitals, bot 20. For 20% off your first month. So come and give us a try for a month. But that's all from me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously, we've had Justin on again every Monday, which is great. Always makes a good stream. And yeah, we'll see where Bitcoin is at throughout this week. Looking forward to it. Until then, ciao for now. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. And for those of you in Stonksy, I'll see you in the Discord. Bye-bye.